Building wealth is often a slow process, especially in the beginning when you have little to no money to get started with. And I truly believe that that's why most people end up getting frustrated with how long the process takes, and they ultimately quit before they can actually even get started. I was taking a look at a quote today, and I believe it was from Warren Buffett. And that quote is compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. So as I was thinking about making this video today and I saw that quote, there's nothing truer than what Buffett said when he talked about compound interest. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through a couple of scenarios that shows how you could take either small amounts or moderate amounts of money, invest it every single month into the stock market, and how those small amounts can ultimately build up over a long period of time with the power of compounding. I have a daily investment series going on my channel where I talk about how making small contributions every single month into a brokerage account can get you started with investing and start building that invested habit that will set you up for your financial success in the future. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out any of those daily investment updates, make sure that you check those out. And as a matter of fact, I'll leave a link down in the description below. All right, so the very first scenario that we're going to be walking through here is going to be of a 40-year-old person who has invested in a 401k. They have never invested in a brokerage account outside of their 401k, and their ultimate goal is to invest a small amount of money every single month to be able to use to supplement the money that they're investing in their corporate sponsor 401k. So I'm going to be running the calculations here on my screen. I'll make sure to share those so you guys can follow along. And I'll also add a link down in the description of this video so you can use this financial calculator that I'm using in order to put together scenarios to work for you. So we're going to take a look at the calculator here, and we're starting off at zero. This is a 40-year-old person. They want to work until they're 65 years old. So that's 25 years that they have to invest. So we're going to add 25 years here. The stock market typically has an 8 to 12% year over year return on your investment. So for the purposes of this, we're going to just say 10%, which is right in the middle. And you can run these numbers with 8%, 6%, 12%, whatever you want, but we're just going to use 10%, and that's going to be compounded annually. And we're going to be looking at investing $250 every single month. So as you could see right here, after 25 years, this person, if their return averaged 10%, then that's going to be $308,331.22. Now, here's the thing that sticks out the most to me. So if you take a look at the very top here, you'll see that the contributions are $75,000. So that's how much money that this person would have contributed over a 25-year period at $250 per month. And the amount that they have added to their portfolio from interest alone is $233,331. So when folks like Buffett talk about compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world, this is exactly what they're talking about. And I think it takes seeing it in this way for people to really understand how these small contributions can really add up over a long period of time. Think about somebody that would have been investing at the age of 20, at the age of 18, at the age of 30, and they want to do this until they're 65 years old. This is how you can actually run up a bag while not making a tremendous amount of money from your 9-to-5 job. And then if you take a look right below that, you can see the accumulation schedule, right? So in the blue are the contributions, and the green is the interest. And as you can see, as the years go along, your contributions remain the same, but the amount that you're getting every single year from compound interest continues to grow. So we'll scroll down even a little bit further here, and we'll take a look at the annual schedule here. As you can see, from year 1 to year 25, we're investing $3,000 every single year. That doesn't change. The amount that changes is the amount in the middle, which is the compound interest. And you can see how that impacts the ending balance. So the biggest takeaway here is that you don't have to have a lot of money to invest for the long term. You just have to stay consistent and let compound interest take over. All right, so next we're gonna take a look at somebody that's 50 years old. I often get comments from people that are in their 40s, their 50s, or a little bit older that are mentioning that they're just starting to invest for the very first time. And I think that's perfectly fine. I don't want people to think that just because they're a little bit older that they don't have time to invest. Now, full disclosure, you don't have as much time when you're a little bit older because when you start investing in your 20s, you've got 40 plus years to let compound interest take effect and actually move and drive your account to the upside. But don't let that discourage you from getting started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at someone that's starting at zero and they have 15 years to invest. They wanna be able to retire at 65, and we're gonna use the same rate of return of 10% compounded annually, and they're gonna be putting in $500 a month. They wanna be a little bit more aggressive. So we're gonna take a look at how investing $500 every single month will impact their portfolio. So if we take a look here, we'll see that if they invest that $500 a month over a 15-year period, they'll have $199,221. Now, if you take a look at the total contributions, that's $90,000 that they contributed. And the total interest is $109,221. So that's a lot of interest. Again, we're talking about the eighth wonder of the world, which is compound interest. And then if you take a look below that, you'll see the accumulation schedule, and you'll see that the blue represents your contributions, the green is the interest. And then of course, we'll take a look at the annual schedule below from year 1 to 15. The yearly deposit doesn't change, right? It goes up to $6,000 a year, which is double what we were doing for the 40-year-old person. And the middle column here is where you see the interest, and every single year you really start to see that explode. So guys, these are just examples of how making small contributions, small to moderate, every single month over a long period of time can help you get to the bag. So whenever I make these videos about the small daily investment challenges and starting off small and maybe starting to add a little bit of money to that every single month, and I always get those few comments where people are talking about it's a waste of time, you can't build wealth that way, this shows that they're absolutely wrong. Run the numbers for yourself. I'm not making this up. And if you can actually invest more than $250 a month or more than $500 a month, then that's what I would do. The only thing that I would say, whatever you invest, just make sure that you can consistently put it into the market and leave it in the market, even when the market moves to the downside. That's going to be the ultimate test for anyone that's a long-term investor. You have to be able to stomach those ups and those downs because they will come. That's what the territory with long-term investing. And in fact, I've got so used to how the market moves to the upside, to the downside, and back up. I prefer to invest on days when the market is red. I want to buy when the market is falling because that's going to lower my overall average of each one of my investments, and it's going to allow me to ride that wave back up to the upside. So if you have strong index funds, strong ETFs, strong blue chip companies within your portfolio, then there's no need to panic, sell those positions at a loss, and then get frustrated and walk away, because we know that there's very few ways for you to be able to get to the bag, and compound interest is one of the best ways to do it. It works 365 days a year, 24/7. And it doesn't stop. That's what he means when he talks about compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world. So guys, I ran 2 scenarios for you in today's video, and I will leave a link down in the description to this financial calculator so you can run your own calculations and you can run it based on how you expect your financial future to grow. So if you're in your 30s or if you're in your 20s and you want to work for X amount of years and you want to be able to invest the X amount of dollars every single month, then that's what you put in there. You can do an average. Maybe you start out at $250 a month, but as you continue to make more money, your average goes up to $600 or $800 a month, whatever you want to do. Mess around with the numbers, see what it looks like for you, and then leave a comment down below. Did you know that compound interest could actually work like this and make an account explode over time? Leave a comment down below and let me know.